everyone, welcome to Keeping It Nerdy. Thank you so much for coming back and joining us for another video. I'm really glad you came back because honestly, last week I talked about the past Disney trips we had, but I never really expanded on them. Basically gave you a synopsis of where I've been, when it was, and who I was with. I really wanted to show you some pictures from it though. My first Disneyland trip was back in 2005 and it was with my best friend Kristen. She now lives in Tennessee. I miss my best friend a lot. Went down together when my sister, my brother-in-law, and their son, my nephew, Daniel, went down as well. And back then, this is in 2005, there really wasn't a whole lot of digital cameras around yet, and I didn't own one. So those really didn't get put into computers, except for one trip, which I apparently have no idea where any of those pictures are, and that was the one with my friend Gina. So, this is what I had to bring out. My husband called it the archives. And it really is the archives. So, this, I decided to make this. This was the ticket at the time. Very cute. And for every Disneyland trip we go on, I make a scrapbook. However, my 2018 trip, I have yet to make the scrapbook for. So, we're going to open this up. I'm just going to kind of show you the main pictures. I have to look through this at the same time. I got a lot of photos of the rides. So I'll kind of skip those and get to the good parts. Was with our favorite, like some of our favorite characters we met. So we got to meet Pinocchio. That was he was the first one we met. That's me right there. I had very short hair. Oh my goodness. And that's my friend Kristen. She had short hair too. We both had short hair. And yeah, that was Pinocchio. He was the first one we met. And then this was Pluto. He was right inside as soon as we got in there. We loved him. I had I think that was the time, I think I had a pin on my lanyard of Pluto. I believe this was right around the time they first started the pin trading, I believe. Then there's Goofy. Oh, the great and wonderful Goofy. He's fun too. I'm so short that all he does is like literally take up half my head in the pictures. And I just love it. It was so fun. It was so fun to go down with my best friend. The next pictures were like the castle, which the castle was as bright and pink as it is right now. And of course, throughout the years it had dulled and then they repainted it. And oh man, the castle looks beautiful now and I can't wait to actually go take pictures of it now. This is really hard to do. Alright, so we were in a store and found these really cool Nemo hats and Bruce puppets. So of course we had to put them on our heads. This was underneath the animation area, I believe. I don't even know if this part of that experience still exists at all. I haven't seen it in a long time. The Once Upon a Time book is always a really good photo opportunity. Next page was Mary Poppins. Oh, that was so great to get pictures of Mary Poppins. And then we also saw Alice in Wonderland and the Mad Hatter doing a little show along with Mary Poppins. It was Alice in Wonderland and Mary Poppins together. Oh, we got pictures of the Mad Hatter. I forgot about that. That was really fun too. He was really good. He is a really good Mad Hatter. I liked him. Let's see here. What else do we got? More pictures of rides. Really finding the ones of us. So, California Adventure, before it went through its remodel stage, had these big letters out here. And you'll see this in some of the digital pictures too, because they had this California sign out there. And it was always fun to get your picture taken next to a letter. We chose R. No idea why we chose R, but we chose R. And there's a back lot on this page. And again, back lot makes for some really good photo ops right here. This is awesome pictures of us. I think I need to figure out a way to... I want to find out if I still have these negatives so I can print out some and give them to my friend. Like I said, my sister was there too, so we did get to go on a few rides with her. And that was this one, and then there's my friend and I. Ta-da! It kind of looked like the deer was coming out of her head. Didn't really mean that for the picture. It just kind of happened. Yeah, that was really fun. So that was a short look through of Disneyland trip 2005. The next trip was our girls' trip to Disneyland in 2009. My sister and I decided to take my mom down for her birthday. That was a really fun trip, and it was my mom's first time to Disneyland.
What do you think of Disneyland?
So we tried to get as many reactions of her as possible.
I like that. Honey, I sent the kids, or the audience. Except I didn't care for the snake coming out and having one.
I think at that point we were waiting for the Small World ride, which that ride and I think one of the other kiddie rides was the only ride we were able to ride the first day we were there because we only spent half a day the first day. And then the next day we got to spend all day in Disneyland. And so I had made these really awesome shirts that had Mom, Daughter 1, Daughter 2 on the back, and then had our names on the front with the little Mickey Mouse on them. Really nice shirts. I like them a lot. And ever since then, I try to make a shirt every trip I go. Although I don't remember if I did it on our honeymoon. I just know that we matched somewhat shirts. So I try to do matching shirts. Luckily, my husband doesn't mind doing matching shirts. This area right here in the back lot, well, I guess it wouldn't be considered the back lot there. But in California Adventure, it's right before the turn near the Hyperion Theater is a really awesome place for photo ops. I don't know if it still exists right now because I haven't been back since 2014 to Disneyland. So if you know, let me know in the comments below if that still exists or not. So this was before Radiator Springs.
Hey, Mom, tell me, we're in Bud
Oh, this
Light,
is about
but
Screaming
tell me
California
what your
roller coaster.
feelings on the roller coaster were. It was okay, but it scared the crap out of me.
Language, Mom. Language. He even said that in the video. Language. Don't say that. So yeah, my mom did not like that ride at all. She's not a roller coaster fan. She's not a thrill seeker, so that's totally okay. Some people aren't thrill seekers. Some people don't like those rides. But she was crying on most of the ride, had her eyes closed. But she still went again when we went back in 2014. She still decided to go on it again. She's so brave. But yeah, such a fun time with my mom. Lots and lots of character pictures and some good pictures of just us girls like this one. And then the last video was our teacup ride, which I don't like the teacups at all. Not my favorite ride. It's kind of hard to spin the cups in general. But on top of that, it just made me really nauseous. I don't do well with rides that go in a circle. Like, they have to be in a forward motion in a particular direction and turn in that particular direction in a, you know,
You hold the camera.
I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I just can't do ones that just go around in circles, like any kind of merry-go-rounds or carousels. They kind of make me nauseous. I can sometimes do the carousel at Disney World and Disneyland, but even then, not my favorite rides. I'll let my kids go on them. I don't need to.
This is definitely a video that's going to make people sick.
It's not making anybody sick. It doesn't make me sick.
If I get out of here and fall down, I'll know I'm dizzy.
She gets out of there and falls down, she knows she's dizzy. Well, at least she'll know she's something. It's always fun controlling the video camera because you can make people look silly. That's great. I love it. The next trip we had was our honeymoon to Disneyland again in 2010. So literally a year afterwards, I decided that our honeymoon should definitely be in Disneyland. If you ever go, if you ever want to choose a good honeymoon destination, Disneyland and Disney World is your best bet, at least to me. If you really like Disney stuff, it's going to be a great place, regardless if your spouse doesn't like it. Regardless, I mean, it's still fun because they get to see you have fun, and sometimes that's all that matters. So It was really great. Lots of experiences. It was his first time to Disneyland as well. And I mean, it was mine. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth time to Disneyland. That was old hat for me, but we did get to do a character breakfast. Was the first time I've ever done those, and that was really fun. Now I love character breakfasts or character dining at any moment. I love it. It's so much fun. There's a lot of different characters that can come out, especially this one. This one's the Crystal Palace, and I believe it's a lot of the Winnie the Pooh friends, but tons of them come out. So you got all the Winnie the Pooh characters that come out, although I didn't get to see Winnie the Pooh that day. But Hook came out, Mickey and Minnie. Well, I know Minnie came out. I don't remember seeing Mickey at all. Fairy Godmother came out, which was weird. You don't get to see her very often. Rafiki came out, but he did not come near us, so that was kind of sad. I wanted to see that. So this ride is the Storybook Adventures ride, I believe, or Storybook Land ride. I really like it. Not the ride itself, but the miniatures that are on the ride. Now, it's been said that Walt really loved his miniatures, and I'm kind of the same way. I love the miniatures. They are extremely detailed, so cute, and you could just see yourself like playing the little characters and stuff on the little miniatures. I don't know. That's what I think. I would definitely do that. Agrabah was my favorite miniature in that entire set. Well, that one, and I think Ariel's Castle was my two favorites. And I still have yet to ride that little circus train thing. Next time I go with my daughter, I'm definitely riding that one. There's some more of the character breakfast. I meant to put them all together, but I figured I'd split them apart because there was a lot of photos from the character breakfast. One of my favorite photos is this one of Minnie Mouse kissing my husband. So stinking cute. And I love the face that my husband gave me for that one. It was great. So there was lots of them. I love that Minnie Mouse had us do that. Of course, we got to meet other characters aside from them. We met some different ones like Baloo, which you don't get to see very often either. And Tigger, he's definitely my favorite in the character breakfasts as well. He's just full of joy and bounciness. And then we had the parade, which was really fun. So this parade was really awesome. I enjoyed it a lot because Pluto had pointed us out to the cast members and stuff like that because we were on our honeymoon. And he was the first character to actually do that. Everybody else kind of ignored us, which was really sad, but I was very thankful that we got that experience with Pluto. That made my day. And to this day, still, to me, that is my favorite parade ever. That was definitely a good experience with that parade. And I mean, come on, it's Pluto. How do you say no to Pluto? He's just so cute and sweet. All right, this next motion part was Magic Morning Madness. We got to meet Mickey Mouse after this, and it was during the extra magic hours in the park, so not everybody was in there yet. That was pretty cool. This character right here, he is part of Star Tours, and they've revamped him since then. I think they revamped him just before we went back for our honeymoon. I don't remember if he was still the same way, but now he does like the suitcase x-ray thing. It's still the same voice and everything. I believe it's still the same animatronic as well. I love this, and I love the new part as well. They did a really good refurb on it. And the only other parts that they've changed to Star Tours is just adding some of the scenes from some of the new movies, which of course is still really good because Star Tours is an amazing ride. So California Adventure was really fun. When we got there, there was a portion that we were sitting down eating, and a mariachi band came up and started playing the song called At Last. And it was actually the song that we danced to at our wedding. So, of course, we had to get up and dance together and got pictures of it. It was really sweet and a very memorable experience. So, to end off our honeymoon slideshow, I thought I'd add our picture of it was a kid that took that on the train. Next up is when we were in Disney World. We actually lived in Florida at the time, and our kids came over for 6 weeks for summer break. and they got to spend time with us. So we decided to take them to Disney World. We took them to Hollywood Studios and Epcot. We did not do Animal Kingdom or Magic Kingdom because, yeah, they weren't old enough to ride some of the rides yet, or tall enough, I should say. Little Miss Elizabeth really wanted a Cinderella dress, so of course I made her one, and I've made quite a few of her costumes so far for Halloween. Meeting Aurora, which was amazing. I don't actually know if Elizabeth had ever seen Sleeping Beauty beforehand, so oh well, it doesn't matter. She's a princess, right? Meeting Belle is always fun. I love Belle. I love the dress. Cinderella was very priceless and so sweet to Miss Elizabeth when she met her and was talking all about her dress and how she looked just like her. It was very kind, and I love that about a lot of the cast members and stuff and crew at Disneyland and Disney World, how they can just make a kid's day that's probably not doing so good doing amazing. So that's always good. We got to meet Peter Pan. Well, Josh got to meet Peter Pan, and so did I. I actually really like Peter Pan, so that was kind of fun and quite an entertaining experience. I didn't realize just how much I'd enjoy meeting Peter Pan. He was fun. And there's my daughter on the carousel. We went to the Captain Jack Sparrow show, the pirate show that they have out in Adventureland, right across from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. That's always a fun show, and it's absolutely hilarious, and they always bring up kids later to kind of be honorary pirates, and that's fun to watch as well. Glad my son got to be a part of that, and it was a memory for him. He didn't really want to do it, kind of pushed him into it, but he did it, and I think he was happy for it later on. The parade after we met Goofy was actually really fun, but Goofy as a pirate's pretty cool. The parade we had seen, the kids were already getting sunburnt and they were hot, and this was on July 4th. I'm never going again to Magic Kingdom on July 4th. That's a bad day to go to the parks. It was so crowded and so busy. But the parade was really fun, and the kids enjoyed it, especially Elizabeth. I think she got a bigger kick out of the parade because the princesses would see her and say hi. There's Cinderella's stepmother, which was kind of entertaining because, of course, Esther was dressed up as, or not Esther, Elizabeth was dressed up as Cinderella. And Cinderella even saw her and said hi to her. This was her face right after that float went by. I had to capture exactly what her feelings were when she saw that. Belle, that's my favorite dress that Belle has in the entire parks. All of her dresses, that one's my favorite. It's gorgeous gold color. Yeah, the parade was really fun. I don't think they do that parade particularly anymore. So I can't remember what we were doing. Oh yeah, we were standing in line to meet Buzz Lightyear. Buzz. Yeah, the kids like Buzz Lightyear a lot. That was pretty cool. I think that was Josh's high point of the entire trip, was I got to meet Buzz Lightyear. And then we got to go to Epcot. Epcot's always fun. I'd say some people say Epcot's not fun for kids. I think it is. And there's Bruce. He's pretty awesome. I like Bruce. We got to meet Mickey Mouse and got to meet Donald Duck and all of them. Got to meet Pluto again. I love Pluto. Pluto's just fun. He's a fun character. Minnie Mouse. And I think they redid all of this setup when we went back 2 years ago. If I remember correctly. We'll see it later. But they were really some fun pictures. Great family photos, and I'm glad we got to do it. Chip and Dale was about the last characters we got to meet, and you can always tell who Chip is because he's got the black nose, like a chocolate chip. I finally figured that out, and I'm glad I know now because it's easier to tell them apart. But the kids love Chip and Dale a lot. They are fun characters, and they always make you laugh, which is always good. Next trip was our Christmas with my parents. They came down to Disney World during December to visit us for Christmas and have kind of an early Christmas with us before they went back to Oregon. So we took them to Disney World, and we took them to all the parks. Now, we had only signed up to do 3 of the parks, and then my dear friend Mary, she got us into Epcot. So I was very happy and pleased that we got to do that. both my dad and I were in scooters because I was not going to be able to walk around for very long. My back was always hurting quite often, so I just didn't walk around. But this was my dad's first time in Disney World, in any Disney park. I'd just say any like big theme park. We've been to Enchanted Forest before out here in Oregon, but that's nothing compared to Disney. So my dad really enjoyed it. This is one of my favorite pictures that my mom got. Well, John was taking a picture of my mom taking a picture of my dad and I. This is the picture my mom was taking because my dad kind of scared us in the middle of it. There's the pirate show.
Look, it's Blackbeard's daughter.
I love that thing. Look, it's Blackbeard's daughter and flee. It was always fun. I told my dad that when he was there, he had to ride Dumbo with me. Yeah, I hadn't even rode Dumbo beforehand, so it was kind of cool to get to ride it with my dad. And the smiles I got out of him, that was great. Getting to see my dad smile like that was amazing. And we got to see Push. Now, Push is no longer in Disney parks. They do not bring out Push anymore. I'm sad, but my husband was able to capture the guy who controlled Push at that time, which was, I think, is really cool to find the guy who controls the robotic characters and stuff. My dad really enjoyed the Winnie the Pooh ride. Now, my dad's nickname is Winnie the Pooh, so I had to get a picture of him with his face in front of Pooh Bear. I tried to get it. Wasn't as easy to do. That was on the railroad, the train. And then it looks like my dad's sleeping in the car. And somebody needs to tell him to not sleep and drive. It's not okay. He loves Splash Mountain, except he doesn't like getting wet on rides. Hence the raincoat, rain jumper, whatever you want to call them things were on us. Animal Kingdom was really fun. We got to do the parade. My dad liked that. I think one of the things he liked the most about Disney World was the shows and the entertainment value of it. It wasn't just the rides, because he wasn't big on the rides, but he enjoyed being able to see the shows and entertainment. He likes that anywhere. I mean, even when we went to, where was it? I think it was Nevada City. They did this like showdown kind of thing, like a gun showdown, shootout, something. And he really liked that. So I figured he'd like the entertainment portion of Disney World a lot. And there's a lot to do in Animal Kingdom in regards to that, because there's the Festival of the Lion King, the Finding Nemo musical, which was not out during this time. The Festival of the Lion King was, and we were able to see that with my parents. But Finding Nemo musical had not come out yet, so they missed that part. That's okay, though. It's alright. Goofy as Santa. I mean, I think that's the perfect character to have to play Santa in any parade is Goofy, because he's just goofy. Santa's a little bit on the goofy side as well, at least I would say that. And then there's Donald, good old Donald, which my dad used to be able to voice, I wouldn't say voice, but he used to imitate Donald Duck a lot, and he was really good at it. That was definitely something I remember about my dad a lot. So Animal Kingdom, of course, has tons of animals. We went on the safari ride. Got to get some good pictures of the rhinos and the giraffes. My favorite picture, however, was the monkey. And only because of the fact that the picture I got after the monkey was even better. My dad was definitely imitating a monkey at the time, which was, I mean, it's hilarious. His favorite snack? Mickey Mouse ice cream bar. Come on. Those things are good. I can't eat them, but they're good. I shouldn't eat them, I should say. I've ate them before, and I really just shouldn't eat them. Hollywood Studios, that's my favorite park out of all 4 of the Disney World parks. It's just, there's a lot more rides, and I kind of like the movie-ish aspect of it, especially when they had this stunt spectacular, or not stunt spectacular, but the car stunt show, I guess you would call it. I can't remember what it was called. That was definitely one of my favorite shows in the park. Now they don't have that anymore, sadly. It makes me very sad that they don't have that anymore. They do have the Actually, they don't even have this tour either. They don't have the backlot tour anymore because they tore all that down to make way for Galaxy's Edge, which is totally okay. This part was really awesome. And that was the pre-show before you started on your backlot tour, which is what is the next picture. And it was basically going through Pearl Harbor. My dad really liked this, and you'll see the look on his face of just how much joy this brought him. This was really a cool part in the show. I liked it. And my dad liked it. The smile of, oh my gosh, I'm getting wet. I'm getting wet. Really, really wet. And he did ride Tower of Terror. Now, when we went back to Disneyland, he did not ride Tower of Terror. He didn't like it as much. That was the Christmas lights in Hollywood Studios. They don't have that anymore either. So it's really nice to look back and go, hey, some of these things that they don't have anymore, we got to experience before they got rid of them. Yay. And then we only got like 2 shots at Epcot. The night shot here, which we also did one with my friend Mary in front of us. And then this shot, which I thought was funny. My dad trying to be cool. Next up was Disneyland. In 2014, we brought the whole family, and I'm talking the whole family. We had my sister, my brother-in-law, my nephew, my 2 kids, my mom and my dad, me and my husband. That's a big group of people to take to Disneyland. We were all kind of staying in different places. I think we stayed at the Camelot, and my husband and I went down there first and stayed for an evening because we flew down, and then we stayed there for a night, and then met with them because they were driving my 2 kids down from Washington. So that was pretty cool that they got to actually spend an extra day with my kids alone. So they did that. Before we went into the parks, we went into downtown Disney. We had dinner at this like cool New Orleans restaurant, which was awesome. This was our first day in the park, Magic Kingdom. My dad was going to get his button because we were trying to celebrate his birthday. It was around his birthday weekend. There's the gorgeous castle. I love that castle. See, I told you, there's a marble ball. Again, we always have to get video or picture of people playing with that big marble ball. It really is a cool thing. I mean, just walk up to it, feel it, because there's water that like drapes around it. There's an effect that is called, and the guy who does Smarter Every Day had talked about it. Now I cannot remember what the effect is called. Oh, I wish I could. Anyway, to continue, they had a lot of Marvel stuff going on. They had this huge Iron Man display, and Captain America was there. Oh, I'm so happy Captain America was there. He's definitely one of my favorite superheroes. So I had to get my picture taken with Captain. And then we've got Roger Rabbit's Toontown area. Well, just Toontown in general. Got some great pictures of the kids. They loved Toontown. It doesn't look like my son liked Toontown much. No, he did. He really loved it. It was fun. They got to ride on the coaster there. I think was, I don't know if that was Gadget's coaster, Go-Go Gadget's coaster or not. I think Go-Go Gadget's coaster is actually in Disney World. So I don't know. I'd have to look that up again. Anyway, we had a lot of fun. My dad tended to sleep a lot during this trip, so we took a lot of breaks, and during this break my daughter caught a cute video of my son. I know. It looks like he's smelling his armpits. I'm not sure if he was really smelling his armpits or if he was like trying to kiss his arms or not. I don't know. Splash Mountain, you do get wet on that ride. My dad got very wet. This was during kind of a lunch, I think it was more like a dinner break because it was right as soon as the sun was going down. And there was an Elvis impersonator and we got to dance around and stuff. I love Elvis impersonators. I like Elvis music in general. So that was really fun and kind of entertaining to watch my dad and my mom. They actually started dancing a little bit too. My dad was enjoying it. It's nice to see pictures of my dad from that point. So I'm going to get teary-eyed if I keep talking about it though. Anyway, so Cars Land was open at this time. So that was 3 years after it wasn't open. And this was Luigi's Tires. By the way, that ride was not a good ride. It was Very hard to control those, and anybody who has ever rode those will say the same exact thing. Very glad they got rid of them and they put in different rides. This was waiting for the Cars ride. That's a fun ride. And of course, the boys had to find a sign that said Jumbo Big Lug Nuts and take a picture in front of it, if you get the figure of speech there. I don't know. They just thought it was funny. That was my dad's first selfie. My dad's first selfie. So there's the Cars Land sign. The sign prior in 2 videos prior to this was actually that said Radiator Springs on it. It's that same sign area. These were awesome pictures that my kids got with my dad. And of course, I'll tell you now, after this vacation, 2 months, let's see, his birthday was in July, August, yeah. About a month and a half later, my dad had passed away. Almost 2 months later, he passed away. So this was our last hurrah with him, and we didn't even know it. So I'm glad we got to have that moment with him, because if not, I don't know what would have happened, but I'm glad I got to spend a really fun family vacation with my dad before he passed. Again, like I said, this little backlot area, great spot for photo shoots. This was right before my mom went on California Screamin' again. She was so brave to go on it again. My son loves this ride. My daughter loves this ride. I love it. So does my husband. And yeah, they weren't scared at all. My mom was a little bit. So of course we went on it again. My parents stayed off of it. And this was the fun moment when we were getting launched at 60 miles an hour. Such a fun part to a ride is getting launched. I don't know. It always makes it feel better. And Stitch always had to come along with us because that was Elizabeth's favorite toy that she got while we were there. And yeah, we got quite a few pictures of him in different random areas. And this was at the hotel. Got to get a good photo of my kids being crazy. All right, the next vacation was Disneyland in 2016. I had just had my youngest, and so she was 6 months old, little Miss Esther. And yeah, this was 2 years after my dad passed, and we had to go back. I'm not sure if this picture was after our trip or before because of my shirt. I had found this really cool shirt that had the TARDIS with Belle and the doctor's hand coming out of it. It's definitely one of my favorite shirts. I don't have that shirt anymore. I don't know where it went. I probably can't fit into it anymore. This was at a rest stop. And then, of course, we had to do our In-N-Out burger eating before we even got to Disneyland. And my 3 or 6 months old, I keep saying 3-year-old because she's 3 now, but my 6-month-old at the time, she kept wanting to steal the burger. We did have a character breakfast that day, and that was really fun. My little one was a little fussy, but she liked seeing some of the characters and was kind of impressed with it. I don't think she understood what to expect, really. Because, of course, she's 6 months. She's just like, what is this big furry thing? And, of course, in this picture, she's sleeping. And there's Dale trying to poke at her. Oh, she woke up there. I don't know. Maybe she was just fussy. Of course, Chip and Dale, again, like I said, really goofy characters. Taking a selfie with them is even better. Peter Pan. This is definitely a different Peter Pan than I took a picture with back in 2011. Or 2011. But this is also a different park. This is Disneyland. That was Disney World, so definitely going to be a different one. Oh yes, little Minnie Mouse. I saw her baby Minnie Mouse. I was just like, she's sleeping. Go sleep. We saw Winnie the Pooh. I walked up to him and I gave him a hug and I started crying. And I had to tell him why. It was because when my dad had passed away, I was like, his nickname was Pooh Bear, and I told them, and he gave me another hug, and I was just like, I was so happy to actually see Pooh Bear because I had never gotten to meet Pooh Bear yet. Rafiki, he's a cool character. He's fun. Big face. I don't know. I would have a hard time trying to be a character with that big face. So yeah, this trip was really fun, except it was very, I didn't get to get a whole lot of pictures or videos or anything because we were so focused on my little one and making sure she was fed and she wasn't fussy and all of that stuff. And like I said, Disneyland with a 6-month-old, not as fun as I thought it would be. Yeah, so we waited again to go much later. However, I did get to have fun with my daughter. We went on the Orbiter, I think that was what it's called. And we all got to go on Space Mountain. That's such a fun ride. I like Space Mountain at Disneyland better than Disney World. Disney World's got the Matterhorn bobsled kind of cars. Disneyland has the two-seater or side-by-side seat cars, and I much prefer those. Chewbacca. I love Chewbacca. I have to meet Chewbacca anytime I'm at Disneyland or Disney World. Because he's just an awesome character. He's so fun. He's so tall, though. So tall to hug. I mean, my mom only comes up to his armpit. There's my hubby. He likes Chewbacca, too. I wish we would have gotten a full picture with everybody, but we didn't. My son and my nephew were actually somewhere else doing something else. This was definitely one of my favorite pictures as I was trying to pretend that the Stormtrooper caught me. But it was the 60th anniversary of Disneyland, so got some good pictures of the castle at night. California Adventure, again, really fun. We got to meet Oswald. Oswald's awesome. Come on. Yeah, you can't say no to Oswald. I love the tomato ride. This one, like, what was it? Tractor tipping or something like that. Cars ride. That's always fun. The kids love that. Unfortunately, my oldest daughter got sick the last day we were there, so she was not able to do some of the things with us, like ride California Screamin' or Tower of Terror, unfortunately. So we were the ones who had to be there without her. But this was the end of our 2016 trip. Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking around and watching that. If you like this video, please subscribe down below. Also, click the bell notification icon so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. I will try to have them out at least once a week. The other thing you can do is leave me a comment as to maybe what your favorite picture you saw in my slideshow or favorite video that you saw in my slideshow. Because that would be really kind of fun to know what you thought of these slideshows and what maybe there was a funny picture that you saw. I tried to get as many funny pictures in there as I possibly could. So, thank you so much for watching. Let's keep it nerdy.